So Nicole just said, "Hi guys, she's finally back with her boyfriend Matt, and that's me." Unfortunately, we both got sick right after we were finishing our semesters in college. So we couldn't record a video because we both sounded like crap. So, but we're feeling better now. Yeah. Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna explain how we met. She just said. So, we both went to the same high school. It's called the Henry Vespardi School. It's located in New York, and it's a school specifically for people with disabilities. So it's K to 12, and it was a very small school, so you kind of everyone at least knows of each other, even if they don't really know each other. So I knew of Nicole, but yes, and she knew of me. But we didn't really talk much. We were actually on our school's basketball team, but we didn't, we just didn't hang out. Yeah, and Nicole was a grade above me, so. But then after she graduated and then after I graduated, I started working on making a alumni association for our high school, and Nicole got really involved in that, and she was always at every meeting. So we kind of started hanging out a little bit there. And that's when she started liking me a lot. But I had absolutely no idea. For 3 years? Yeah. Yeah, and she kind of wanted to keep it that way because I lived further away, so she wasn't really thinking that it would work out. Yeah, and she'd just gotten out of a long-distance relationship, which, well, now that I'm here, it obviously didn't end very well, so. It ended pretty badly, so. Yeah. So. Yeah, things were also kind of complicated because our mutual friend liked me at the time, so. Yeah, you didn't want to intrude? Yeah, so she didn't want to intrude on her friend liking me and all that, so. Yeah, she said because she had that happen to her one time and it wasn't very fun. So. Twice, okay. That's, yeah. So yeah, so now Nicole's going to tell you about her sort of master plan here of how she won me over.
Oh!
Right. So she was saying, the original secretary that we had for the Alumni Association, who Nicole actually used to like a long time ago, he wasn't able to keep holding his position, and so then there was an opening, and Nicole decided to volunteer for it. So. A, because... No. Oh, A, because she had the skills. Yes, and B, because she wanted to get closer to me. So. And she wanted to get to know me better. So. Ah, okay, she wanted me to get to know her better, so. Yeah. So I got home that night. What the hell did I just do? Yeah, taking on that responsibility, so. Yeah, but it was fine, so. Yeah, so, yeah, never know when one step leads to something else, so. Yeah. Yeah, we were emailing back and forth, and then Facebooking and all that, so. Yep, yeah, she got me to finally open up to her and talk to her more. Said she had to practically get a crowbar. So I was kind of shy, but then we started talking more. So. Ah, she says she used reverse psychology. Yeah. Yeah, she opened up about her past relationship. Yeah, hoping that I would, and then that would kind of get us closer and talking more. Yeah, I don't even remember who. Well, but anyway, we don't have to. But, oh, now I remember. So she was kind of crushed that I had a crush. Yeah, so she kind of didn't give up and she kept talking to me. Yeah, she was hoping that if she kept talking to me, then when I would get to know her better and things might change. Yeah, so she liked me for about 3 years. And she wasn't planning on telling me. And I certainly had no idea. So. But Yeah, so there was a day we were hanging out with a friend of ours, and I don't know. I guess I'd been spending more of the day with Nicole, and I kind of started thinking like maybe I like her. I don't know. And so it was like that first like feeling of what's this kind of thing here? I don't know. And so we were talking one night on Facebook, and we were sort of like dancing around uh, the topic of relationships and how it's hard when like two friends like each other, or one does and they don't know if the other one does also. And so some more backstory with that was we both loved the show The Big Bang Theory. Okay, yeah. So there's an episode of The Big Bang Theory. It's the last episode of the first season. Yeah, she'll put a link in the description below to a clip of it. And so the gist of it is essentially two characters are trying to decide if they should kind of give it a shot and go on a date. And so another character explains this idea of Schrodinger's cat, and it's the gist of it was that you won't know until you try, and so like I said, so we were talking that night on Facebook, and I had said, this is reminding me of Schrodinger's cat. In the clip, if you open the box and the cat's alive, yeah, then you like the person. And so the idea is you won't know until you open the box and look inside, is it dead or alive? So essentially, do you have feelings for the person or not? So. Right. So when I said it's reminding me of Schrodinger's cat, then she said, alive or dead. It took a minute. I took a minute to really think about what I was about to do. Yeah. Before I typed out the answer. Or, no, I'm sorry. Before she typed out the question. Yeah, so I wouldn't answer the question. So I basically made her tell me if she liked me. She asked me about 30 times. Oh, 3 times, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't give her the answer. So. Yeah, until she admitted that she liked me. So, but once she did, then I said the same, and we've. Yeah, I said, well, right. So I said, yeah, I it's alive. I think, because I just kind of started having feelings for her that day, like I said. So, but I took a little time, like a few hours, and yeah. Yeah, this was going on at like 2 in the morning. 12? Oh. So we were having this conversation at around 12. I think we maybe stopped at around like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And then I didn't tell her until 4 p.m. that day. Yeah. So, which, like, thinking about it now, I'm like, what was I waiting for? But I'm very happy that I did answer her. So.
Yes.
And it was a yes. Yeah. So, obviously, why else would I be here? So yeah. Through our 4.5 years of dating. Yeah, so through our 4.5 years of dating, we've only encountered. We were kind of thinking about this before the video. I think it's only like 2 awkward situations with other people dealing with us as a couple who have disabilities. So the first one was actually on our first date, and we weren't really doing anything like that odd. We were sitting down at a table and talking to each other. And there was this guy like sitting next to us, and he just kept staring and staring. Oh, he was across from us. Okay. So. Right, and she was like, what the hell is his problem? So she waved at him, and he didn't stop staring. Right, so she stared back at him. And he still didn't get the hint. It was awkward, so... but then I think you pointed at him or something, because I remember like turning around. It was my back was to this guy, so I wasn't looking at him. So yeah, she was really pissed off. So she just started like pointing at him. And then I think like eventually after that, like once it also got my attention, I think he kind of felt awkward himself and got up or something. So yeah. And then another time we were out at a restaurant, and her aide was sitting up at the bar, and the two of us were at a table, and someone asked her aide about us, and she was asking, like, like, you're gonna leave them like alone? And she said, that we were on a date. And the lady was like, they can do that? So yeah. But those are the only ones that are specific to us being a couple. We've obviously individually had a bunch of awkward situations with people, but oh yes, her aide isn't very tolerant of ignorance. So she didn't answer. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, it's been pretty good. So, and then so there's another story that I always like to tell about our first date. So we were she doesn't want me to tell, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. So we were trying to figure out. So I have a disability called osteogenesis imperfecta, which means I have brittle bones. And she's CP, and so her right arm flails. Oh, yes. Yeah, so she doesn't have much control over her right arm. So, and obviously we've got chairs and all this metal in between us and all that. So we were talking about, like, so, I guess when I see you, I'll give you a hug or something, and he didn't really know how to work around CP and wheelchairs and OI and all that. Yeah, she was afraid she was going to hurt me. I mean, now, like, it's totally fine. And, but she was nervous. So so I opened up, like, Microsoft Paint, and I started making a hug diagram to figure out how we can safely hug. Which, looking back, I was so ridiculous, but it's funny. Yes. So on the diagram, where her right arm was, I wrote danger in red. So, but I did give her a hug when we met up on our date, and then after that, she was so over the moon and infatuated with me that she drove right into a light pole. But I've been contractually obligated to inform you that she is normally a very good driver. An excellent driver. As she's better at driving her power chair than I am when I'm in my power chair.
Yes.
Oh, hell yes, she says. So, yeah. I tend to back up into a lot of things. What? Yeah, she's been driving a power chair since she was 5. So, yeah. So it does say something, though, that she's a better driver than me, and yet she has CP. So
yeah.
So yeah. So I kind of just wanted to point out, so, like, the way we're talking now, how she'll say something and then I'll repeat it back to try and make sure that I'm understanding what she's saying. This is how we how we always communicate. So
Oh,
yes, sometimes I don't understand something, and it's usually hilarious
oh my.
when I say what it sounds like she's saying to me. So I think like one time when we were just friends, she was telling me something like I was getting on the bus at camp. At camp. I had friends? Okay. Oh, okay. So I thought it was on the bus, but no, so she's saying, so she was actually saying to me at camp, I had friends was part of the sentence, and I thought she said at camp I had the runs.
Yeah.
So yeah. And mind you, I liked him. So at the time, she probably wouldn't have said I had the runs. So now that's totally fine and hilarious. So.
Yeah.
And to me, it was funny as anything when we were talking at the time. So. Yeah, she said, "Why would I tell you I had the runs?" So. Oh, for those of you who don't know what the runs are, it's diarrhea. So, yeah, I guess it's a phrase not everyone might know. So, but anyway, so speaking of communication, we just wanted to tell you, if you haven't heard of it, you need to watch the TV show Speechless. Yes, it's on ABC on Wednesday nights at 8:30. 8:30 Eastern time. So yeah. But so the show is actually it's about a kid with CP, and he's actually played by a disabled actor. Believe it or not, they exist, and so that's a great thing to see. And so not only does the actor have it, but the character he's playing has CP, and he communicates with a laser pointer attached to his ear and a board, and he spells out letters. But it is a really, really accurate description of disability, and it really talks about having siblings who aren't disabled and one who is disabled. It talks about parents dealing with disability. Yes, yeah, we both have siblings who don't have disabilities, so it's a terrific show. It's very funny. And we think it's really accurate, whether you have CP specifically, or if you just have any disability, really. So, sorry, screensaver kicked in. Yes, yeah. So obviously, even though we can relate to it really well. We also think it's a great show for anyone who doesn't have a disability to watch. It really addresses a lot of issues that that we've encountered when dealing with other people or dealing with dating or anything like that, dealing with your siblings, all that. Having an aide, it's really funny and also educational for people. So. Yes, it's perfect. So
I love it.
Yeah, she loves it. Oh, and you like that it's about the whole family?
Yes.
Yeah, she likes it's about the whole family, not just the character with the disability, and it's not like where it's the special episode, and now we're gonna have a character with a disability, and everyone's gonna feel either bad or inspired by them. It's that they actually represent a real whole person.
Great.
Yeah. So one reason why it's probably pretty accurate is the creator has a sibling who has CP. It's a brother. Yeah. So anyway, so please, really trying to encourage people to watch that. So it's on ABC, 8:30 Eastern Time. Speechless. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it again. So, it's so good. So anyway, so but thank you for watching. So.
Only.
Yeah, please keep any questions or comments you have, that are appropriate. So please don't ask us stuff that you wouldn't want some random person to ask you. So. Well, yeah, we're people. So, but if you have, certain disability questions or things like that. Yeah, PG. Yeah. Yeah. Please. Okay. You've gotten a lot of odd questions, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, but it was nice to meet all of you, so to speak. So, and yes, I like the Legend of Zelda. So. Yeah. So, she's having a geek. So she likes geeks. So it works out. Yeah, so she's unfortunately starting school again, so she's not going to have that much time to update. Yeah, but she'll try her best to respond to people who ask questions and stuff. So.
Oh! Think.
So I'll see you guys when I get a chance. Bye.